All right, so this is the project that uses the Doink app, and it's the Green Screen Composer Bio. So students will pick a composer. I let them pick any modern composer as long as it's somebody who does write their own music. They research the composer and answer questions. The answers have to be written in complete sentences, which is a great crossover for English cross-curriculum learning. Then they take that information and write out a script for their green screen video. So the first part, and I'm going to kind of blow through this pretty quickly since you can figure this out kind of your own, is questions that kind of help them get an idea of who this person is, but also get them some talking points. So they kind of go through this, and I don't make them answer all the questions, but the bullet points do help them to kind of get a better idea of what to answer, especially if they're young. Okay. Then they start writing their script, and this one also uses the Parrot teleprompter app, which is just an app that basically reads the lines across as it moves continuously so that the students can read without having to memorize it. You don't have to have this app. You could just have them write it on paper or cue cards like old school. For that, I do remind them that their script needs to have information about their research and how can you share that information creatively so that people don't get bored when they're watching it. Right. And then getting ready to film, we think about what makes an interesting video. This is what the teleprompter app looks like if you decide you want to also download that while you're doing this project. And then we're going to be using, this one actually right here, the green screen, and they also have an animation app. So to put it into the teleprompter app, they click the plus, they set up their script and put their actual information in there. Okay, then they can play around. It'll show up kind of like this, and then they can play with how fast and slow they want it if you're going to use the teleprompter app. If not, they can just read it or memorize it even. Practice is super important, and I am sure at some point in this presentation I've used or okay or so a lot, so I didn't follow my own rule. And I like to have kids practice out loud. You have your kids in class that are super outgoing, and they will be able to help do examples for you. So the example is, hello, I'm gonna tell you about Mozart. Then I have one person tell me the wrong way to do it, and maybe they laugh or they giggle or they stutter or they don't know the words or something like that. And then somebody to read it the right way of, hello, I'm going to tell you about Mozart. And then they kind of get ready once they have their video formulated to put it into the green screen app, which I'll show you next. So this is the green screen app right here. It looks like a little octopus. And when you click on it, there is a really great sample product here that I really recommend you show your students, and it kind of goes over some of the basic information for how to put things in, how to pop them in the backgrounds, etc. So I'm actually going to show you right here with one of my students' videos that I think, do I still have that on there? Yes, there it is. Okay. Okay, reload her in. Okay, so now you can see that this is my student, and the video goes in the middle bar line. The background is going to go in the bottom, so B for bottom, middle for main video, and the top is for anything that pops in. So top, pop, middle, main, and bottom, background. So because we filmed in front of our green screen, you can see here that now there's no background behind her at all, okay? If when you put your video in, it's looking like it's a little bit too green around her, especially students that have, you can see that I'm playing with the chromosphere here. Students that have blonde hair, you sometimes have to fix it a little bit more even just because of how there's green undertones. So you can play with the sensitivity of that and kind of fix it to where now you can see that there's less green around the background of her. If I want to move her around, I can literally just pick her up with fingers and scoot her around. I can make her bigger, I can make her smaller, whatever I want to do with her. I can move her to the side, I can turn her sideways, all kinds of really fun stuff. So you can have them play around with that a little bit too. So now we see that there she is in her video and she's ready to go. So for a background, let's see what I've got here that we can put behind her. Let's see. We can definitely use, let's put her in front of Disney World. Okay, so we're gonna pop her in, and here she is now, done, in front of Disney World, okay? So we can make it bigger like this. And then we can make Ruth smaller. Oops, that's a big thing. Always make sure you click the video you're wanting to move, okay? So if I want to make her smaller, I can literally put Ruth here, almost like she's on stage in front of Disney if I want to make it look like she's actually in the picture, or I can make her bigger to where she's telling me about it or something like that. Now, if I wanted to, I can click the bottom here and I can pull and drag it across to make it longer or shorter. Okay, so now we have a good background and we can pull it across if we want to. And then you can also add another background in. So we'll put her now, let's see, in front of It's a Small World. There we go. And we can also make it longer right here too, so we don't have to do it later. If you want to do it as the whole background, you can. Okay, so now you can see that the transition will be in between those right there. Anything you want to pop in the top, you can pop into the top right here. Like, for example, if right here she was talking about that she had recently bought, let's see, a new pumpkin wreath. So now you can see that that's there. Now, when you just put it in, it's going to cover the whole background. So you want to pinch it and make it smaller and then put it wherever you want it.